Manyora, a long-time political analyst, has delivered a message to the President William Samoei Ruto, letting him know that Kenyans are hurting. At the same time, Kenyans are angry and also hungry, citing that they can't even access medical services in the hospital. They can't seek medical attention. The education sector is crumbling down. The agricultural sector, the farming is not doing well. There are people who are suffering from floods. They can't even access meals, and those challenges that Manyora is telling the president that he toward the country, not in the capacity of Manyora Kebaso, who checks into the projects that the government has launched, yet they are white elephant projects. Monies have been used and have just disappeared in thin air, and they can't be accounted for. Now he tells the president, I was not working in this capacity, but I was working, listening into the ground and how Kenyans are suffering, seeing how Kenyans are coping up with life. This is the message that Manyora delivered to the president. Let us listen to it.
In the recent past, the past 2 to 3 months, I've had the opportunity to traverse the country, not in the manner of Manyora Kebaso, not out there to fault government or to see what the people are saying. I feel obliged to tell the president, the people are hurting. The people are both hungry and angry. The people are collapsing under the weight of the hard economic realities. People are suffering because the health sector has collapsed. Kenyans have children not going to school because of all the challenges you can think of. Hungry children who can't walk to school. Schools that cannot be accessed during rain season because of floods. Even those who have no challenge with fees cannot maintain themselves on campus because they will die, they don't have food. Kenyans watch as loved ones die because they can't take them to hospital. Kenyans are going to bed hungry. Mr. President, your countrymen are collapsing under the weight of taxes and levies. Why you subject them to this, yet you love them and they love you? I wish I was able to sit down with the president over a cup of tea. I'll tell him some of these things as a person who loves this country. That I've been shocked listening to the voices of people from areas that I would never have imagined would say the sort of things they are saying about this country. Deep in Kalenjin land. And the people are telling me, Manyora, tell Ruto we are suffering. If those around you lie to you and they hide this fact from you, if you call the intelligence chief one breakfast, and over breakfast, look at him in the eyes and tell him, when IG Haji, tell me the truth. Is it true, like I've heard from people like Manyora, that even my own people are unhappy with me? Look at him in the eye. Ask Haji, please, if you don't have an answer, go and come back after a week. And tell me whether it is true that deep in Kalenjin land, there are people who are saying, we are suffering under Ruto. You don't have to trust me. You have the instruments of state, Your Excellency. Use them. Don't trust your advisors. Use the instruments of state given to you and find out why individuals deep in Nandi County, deep in Bomet and Kericho, have awful things to say about you. I know 2 things, Your Excellency. One is that blood is thicker than water. We are highly ethnicized as a people. And no time is this more so than during elections. And therefore, Your Excellency, the Kalenjins who today are saying they are suffering and they can't understand why you are doing this, they will vote for you. So I know this. They will vote for you. So don't worry about the votes, because they will vote for you. But use them as a barometer to measure use them as thermometer to measure the temperature in the country. That if you went to your own house and your own children and family are saying certain things about you, about the things you do in public, even when they are the beneficiaries, a community may not get material wealth from you, but they have a bragging right over you. So if your own children and wife or husband in the house say certain things about you, you have to stop and listen. Because when they come from people, you say busybodies, opposition people, people who want my seat, jealous people, enemies of development, like Mo used to tell us, sponsored by their masters. That has been said several times. But when you want to know the truth, don't get it from Manyora. Manyora is only guiding you and directing you from where you'll find the truth, that the people of this country are hungry and angry, that the people of this country are hurting. Just go to your home. And don't go there in a helicopter. Don't drive there in those big vehicles. Use the instruments of state to find out. Summon Haji and tell him to give you the truth in a week. I hope Haji will give you the truth. The truth is, people in this country are suffering, that they are hurting, and they can't understand why. So the second thing, perhaps, Your Excellency, you may take solace and heart in 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 10 to 22. But outside those two, Your Excellency, I would advise, as a humble subject and a citizen of this country, who means no ill. I've been around for a while in this country. I've spoken my thing on television, on radio. My voice has been in print media, in newspapers and magazines. I've never been one to scheme against anybody, least of all government. The intelligence will tell you, Manyora will never be found anywhere in conspiracies. So what I say is really from the love I have for my country. That Your Excellency, what is required of you to restore hope in your people is not difficult. The things you do in the name of the citizens of this country, Your Excellency, surely the citizens must be there to enjoy them. If you build houses and people are dead, who live in those houses, Your Excellency?
Well, what's your take on this? It's true that amidst these tough economic times and economic challenges, whereby operating a business in Kenya is becoming such a big deal. Look, companies are closing, institutions are closing up. There are huge taxes. The weight of taxes and levies level against the businesses is so much tough that operating businesses is difficult. For instance, right now, for those who are doing business, they'll tell you, if they can manage to raise something, it's just to pay for the rent of those businesses. They cannot invest more in other businesses, and even getting that rent is a hard task. Now, talking about taxes, just the other day, there is a proposal to include the street light levy. You see, when you walk and you got street lights in the maybe in the streets, in the market, now that they want you also as a taxpayer to be catering for that. Remember, as business people, there is what you call the business permit, which comes at a fee. You always pay it annually. For those who sell their products in the market, they pay those taxes day in, day out. The vehicles that come into certain constituencies or counties move out. There is what they pay, some amount they pay them. Now, my question is, are you going you as the national government, are you going to make sure that you pay the counties that street light levy, you'll give it to them so that they pay for the street lights. In return, the county government, you'll have to reduce the business permit fee that business persons pay. Are you going to do balance, or are you just going to keep quiet so that we could have double taxation? Kenyans are hurting. If you love content of this nature and you are watching from either YouTube or a Facebook page and you got your thought, kindly comment in the comment section below. Now, if you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. If you're watching from our Facebook page, kindly follow us for regular updates. Ahmed Halif is my name for the unscripted talks here in DURB Radio. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, DURB Radio ndio mpango mzima.